Another thing, Glenn Miller's son made this cross for Aaron and I and brought it to us today. So I want to thank little Glenn, wherever he's at.
Guard dog, where you at?
He's our guard dog. There he is. Little Glenn, come on up here. He's been a huge part of this Warrior Project. He goes to pretty much all the rallies. He's here every week. Yeah, he does. He takes care of our cars, like he holds the markers and talks to people and conversates with them when they're signing the cars. So he's got to witness some of the grieving and stuff that goes on when people are signing names to the Mustangs. And I can't say enough about this young man. Even in like our, when we're on Wednesday, Arts Wednesday Bible study, he started to open up, and his walk with Christ has become pretty strong for a young man, which is surprising when you see a young guy like Glenn walking with Christ and trying to be the light in the school and deal with all the things that come with that, you know. But he's got something he wants to read to us. So I'm kind of, he didn't want it, but I told him I'm not reading it for him. I'll stand up here with him. If you can't go all the way through, then I'll take it off. It's okay.
You got this.
You got it, old boy.
You got this.
It's okay. It's not me out. So this isn't anything special, but this comes from a 15-year-old that's been through some stuff most kids don't see. But a lot of kids do. I realize I am the kid that sits back and sees what goes on. I get bullied almost every day. I struggle with it. It builds a lot of anger, and I still have a lot of anger when I was little and saw my father drink and pop pills, seeing someone so out of it. It's scary for a kid to see every week. I went to school scared to lose my dad from drinking. I would prefer to be sick to stay home and make sure he's home and okay. Every week, an ambulance was at my house picking him up from having seizures. I would see him snort Xanax and Percocet and other pills. One memory that I have nightmares of is this one day we was off school, and it was my two sisters and dad who was drinking that day. Well, I don't know what happened, but he went to go lay down. Us three kids walked in, and Tori asked, "What's wrong?" He told us he loved us and to get to the room. Well, little did I know, he had his gun under the blanket. He told us to go in the kitchen. I was crying and screaming, "Dad, please, don't go, please." I laid on the ground, crying. I heard a gunshot. I ran in the room, seeing him lie there. I thought he was dead. He just had his eyes closed. Tori took the gun. Mom was on her way home on the phone, hearing us kids scream. The thoughts going through my head was me and him hunting and being together, but I'm glad I still have him. I wouldn't ever be mad at him for that because I know it was the alcohol and drugs. When we moved to Canton, he still drank, barely then. And then he stopped drinking. I remember my 7th birthday, I wished for my dad to stop drinking and doing drugs. Man, God answered that. I have never had the best grades, but I tried. Me and my sisters all went to school together, and I thought it would be cool. Well, it wasn't. Me and my sisters stayed after school to go to the library, and I saw my sister fight a girl over pills. I don't want to tell her the story, but when we moved up to Canton, she started running away, cutting and stealing, and then going to court every night. I would worry about her. Is she coming home? Is she alive? Does she know what I felt? Does she know how much I really care and cry and how brokenhearted I was to see my loved one crash and burn? And she was like an older brother. She always said, "I'm here for you. I will protect you and fight for you and buy you stuff." I don't care about her buying me stuff. That's not what he wrote. I wanted you to care and be there with me, with your real family and the people on the streets. Don't give a crap about you. Blood's thicker than water. Dad's always taught us. And the Warriors are my blood. They're thicker than blood. They're true family, and I wish that my sister would get it. That life's not a game. Once it's over, it's game over. There's no coming back. I wish she would understand the pain I face and always worry and just completely in tears once again. I go to bed, I have thought about suicide a couple times, but then I realize it's not worth it. I never open up to anybody because I'm scared that I'm going to get hurt, because my whole life, that's what it's been. Like sitting in a bar watching my dad drink and arguing with my mother, telling my mom and us kids to get the F out before he shoots us. Look, that's not my dad. My dad is a loving, kind, caring, impacts people's lives. Now shows example in people's lives. And some with Tori. I know that Tori's better than she is under the influence. Since my dad has been in AA, he takes his kids to meetings, and I hear stories of people's lives. I don't want that at all. I want God to be the leader. I want to be a part of his plan, and truly believe Dad introducing me to Phil and the Warriors was my blessing, and I'm thankful for that. Then Phil told us to come to the meeting, and then I met you guys, which he's saying all of you. And it fits in. I don't know why. It just does. You guys showed me how to deal with anger and fear and with getting bullied. Everything else, I had a girl cry on my shoulders because I told her that I loved her and that I should and that I cared. She told me she'd never had someone look at her in the eyes and say that I was a complete stranger to her. She told me that if she had a blessing, it was me. I'm just a 15-year-old boy witnessing to other adult kids and family just because a loved one hurts you or is hurting you, or you hurt someone. Go make amends with them. Get their trust back. Show them that you care. It sounds easy, but trust me, trust is something that's hard to get back. I forgive my dad for what he did, and I love him so much, as I did when he was drinking. But my family and my true blood, like cousins and aunts and uncles, are for me like the Warriors. I really become a child of God with the understanding that I will be grateful for everything, every blessing I will receive. I wrote this because the first time I actually told something this deep and get off my chest, and man, does it feel great. I love you, family. I will hear Tiny say, if you're at home sitting on the couch and saying how terrible this epidemic is, you do nothing about it. You're part of the problem and not part of the solution. Aaron. Oh, I have one more real quick. We have this girl, Stephanie. She's in QDH. 11 months ago, prior to 11 months ago, she used to come to Crosby Hall in the parking lot begging for a change. And they would kick her out of the meeting, and she was homeless and just broken. This girl's gotten sober, which is a blessing because everybody had her counted out. And she's graduated Quest, and she's about to be moving into her own place for the first time in a very, very long time. January 2nd, she'll be moving into her own apartment. Her and her caseworker called me yesterday, and they're looking for just everything that you need for an apartment, for towels, washcloths, silverware, dressers, beds. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff. Whatever you got. If you guys have extra stuff laying around, sheets, blankets, anything like that, just bring them to the Warrior Project, and I'll bring them to my garage. And then on January 2nd, I know Rick's involved with it. We'll get all that stuff together and we'll get her moved in. But I think that's a good way for us to show support to, especially the girls in the QDH, but another sister in Christ. That's all I got.
Morning, family. Amber, where you at? Come on. Come up here. Oh, this girl and I have history.
Oh,
Ooh, how many years back does it go back?
06?
Well, longer than that because of the homeless shelter.
Oh, yeah.
We were in the homeless shelter together, what, about 10 years ago. She gets sober, she's sober for 6 years. I don't want to tell your story, but she went back out. And Bill and I made it our mission to get her back in the rooms. I drove